I'm Jake. This is my F100, and this is a really big engine bay. Oh, I might be a little stuck, and I might be too old to be doing this still. Oh, but to fix the engine, you must become the engine. For this. Oh my god. This guy sucks. Come on. Come on. Finger doing that. What the hell was I doing? That's why I can't see it. Had sunglasses on.
I feel like I'm gonna hurl. So I can't stop stuffing my face with dry.
Alright. So, it's been a few weeks for me since I've shot anything and uploaded any videos for you guys. So I want to just kind of do a little update and then kind of try to get back into uploading more videos, because I've been slacking off on that. Mainly because this thing has been giving me a bunch of problems. For those that don't know, this is my 77 F100 that I've been working on for the past year. For those that don't know, the engine in this thing is a small block Ford 302. I had that in a Ranger before I had it in this truck. When I started building this, the Ranger got parked. It's basically just become a parts truck for this. So I yanked the 302 out of it, the T5, a bunch of other stuff, including the headers that I had on the Ranger, which was just a set of shorty Fox body headers. And when I pulled the engine out, I found a crack on one of the tubes, welded that up, threw it all in here, got the truck running, and then for like the first month that I've been driving this thing, I've only had it driving for like 2 months now, but the first month, like, found more cracks in the header. Well, new cracks formed in the header, welded those up, drove it some more, header's cracked again, been a bunch of problems. I've gone through and I've changed the header on the driver's side. It's been a bunch of problems. When you got a crack in the header, it throws off the air-fuel ratio, and that's a big problem because I'm running Holley Sniper EFI, so it depends on the O2 sensor to know how much fuel to feed the engine. But when you got a crack in the header, it throws off that air-fuel ratio, makes the Sniper think that it's running lean, so it pumps more fuel in, which means it's actually running rich. It's a whole problem, and it's been a whole hassle that I've been dealing with. But I've got one of the new headers in. I still got the old Fox body header on the passenger side. We're gonna change that. It's just gonna take a minute. But let's stop yammering about it. Let me show you guys. Alright, so on this side, this is the new header on the driver's side. It's a Flowtech header. It's actually meant for a turbo setup. So this is actually the passenger side, but I got it on the driver's side. So it looks like just like a mid-length header, but it's meant to be run the other side going forward, so you can run, you know, a turbo somewhere up in the engine bay, all the tubing and everything. But I'm just using it like a regular set of headers, just going straight back like normal. On this side, I still have the Fox body header, and the reason for that is, you can even see on this, you see how close it gets to the frame? Even though I got plenty of clearance on the driver's side over there, on this side, when I went to go mock the header up, it landed right on top of the frame. Right about, you can kind of see where it's already notched a little bit, just to even make sure that this pipe clears. I'm gonna have to unnotch it so a significant amount more. Like, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch in, which kind of sketches me out. I don't want to cut on the frame any more than I have to, but I'm gonna have to, so that means I'm gonna have to plate this in. I might make some type of gusset to kind of go in here, maybe just to help reinforce it some more. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that, so I didn't throw the header in on this side yet. But that'll be coming in the next few weeks. I still having some problems with the exhaust, or at least I thought I was, because it was still running like just the last few days. So I took it out driving yesterday, went cruising and everything, and decided to have a little fun and try to get some video of the truck, you know, doing some donuts and stuff. And well, after doing that, it started running like crap again. It started running lean. What I found that happened is, let's see if I can't get this to focus. I don't know if you guys can see that. You see how it's burnt up on the wire there. This boot came loose, rotated down, and was sitting on the header. So that got all burnt up. And it was, you could hear it, like the arc jumping to the header. Yeah, that's still hot from driving home from work, but you could hear the arc jumping to the header. It sounded actually like an exhaust leak, like, you know, like when you got a flange loose, or just a leak somewhere, and it makes that farty kind of noise from, you know, when you got an exhaust leak. That's what that sounded like when you're in the cab driving it. So I thought I had another exhaust leak, so I was chasing around, you know, making sure all the V-bands, making sure the O2 sensor down there was all tight. I went through trying to tighten up all the header bolts, which a few of them were loose, but I think I got them all tight now. But all it was this boot came loose, which I'm gonna replace these spark plug wires, because I mean, but these are old anyway. These are like 5 or 6 years old. It's definitely time to change out the spark plug wires, and especially with that being there, that's got to get changed, which that'll probably be next paycheck. But yeah, I'll be doing that probably when I go do the header on the other side as well. And it's been having some other problems too, like I blew a head gasket, so when I was doing the header on that, I was going through and replacing the head gasket on this side. And then when that happened, after I got it running on the wall, you Ford guys know, you know, the cork gasket that goes, you know, behind the distributor on the intake manifold, that kept leaking on me. I replaced it like 3 times trying to get it to seal. And the way that I've always done it was just Permatex, you know, like a layer of Permatex, the cork gasket, and then another layer of Permatex. And that had always worked for me. This round though wasn't doing it. So right now I don't have any of the cork gaskets on there. I just got, you know, the regular intake manifold gaskets, a nice big bead of silicone, you know, the Permatex running across there, same on the back. Torqued it all down, and it's actually finally holding up. So I probably should have done that to begin with, but I was dealing with those oil leaks. And then another problem I've been having is that steering rack. You kind of see where all the AN hoses, you see that black fittings down there, like that block. That's new. That's from a company called Range Industries. Before I had like these set of cheapy like eBay fittings on there that were just leaking everywhere and making a complete mess. And you can still see where like it's leaking, because is leaking from inside the boot where, you know, like the tie rod actually goes into the rack. That's been leaking and it leaves a puddle and a trail everywhere. So I tried to find a set of like seals and everything for that rack. Couldn't find any. All I was able to find was just a completely rebuilt rack. So that's the route we're going. I'm gonna be putting a rack in here soon. And then that became a thing of, well, since I'm gonna be there anyways, I might as well. So I was gonna put on new tie rod ends, and and my sway bar. I don't have that hooked up right now because the end link on the driver's side over there, that's broken. I was gonna replace that too. So I was looking through for like tie rod ends, sway bar end links, and then I found a set that just had upper control arms, sway bar end links, tie rods, and I think something else. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a whole package set. So I figured, screw it, I'll just go ahead and do all that at the same time anyways, because the alignment on this is also off. Like the first week that I got this truck driving, I'm thirsty, let me go grab my tea. First week that I got this thing driving, I took it to work, throw it on the alignment rack, and I just did a quick tow and go just to get an idea of where I was at with the alignment, just so I knew what I needed to fix. The caster's off, camber's a little bit off, it's really not that bad. Caster's the big problem. It wants to pull to the right, and the driver's side, I remember, is like back at like 7 degrees. The passenger side is like 4 degrees, and from how it's been explained to me is that would cause it to want to pull to the right. And then also too, the steering wheel's off. I need to straighten that up. I figured, hey, since I'm doing the steering rack anyways, since I'm ordering, I can go ahead, order all these different suspension parts and finally fix the alignment and get this thing to drive completely straight. So that'll be another video coming up soon, probably. And probably even at the same time. It's probably all gonna happen at the same time. I'll probably be replacing the header, replacing the steering rack, and getting that all wrapped up. And then hopefully this thing will finally be running right. But yeah, something else you guys probably haven't seen yet. If you watched my other videos, you know I haven't had a bed on this thing. So I finally got the bed on, as you can see. Got the whole fenders, got the whole step finally. I even got the wood bed floor. The wood bed kits for these things, I always see them from like anywhere from like $500 to $1,000, which right now in my budget, that's not gonna happen. And also too, I got a fuel cell in the back, so you can see where the cap is and everything, the vent right there, fuel pumps all down in there. I didn't want to go ordering like $1,000 wood bed kit and then having to cut that hole in there. And I didn't want to spend $1,000 on wood bed kit anyway, so I just got a 3/4 sheet of plywood and then some extra strips to go on the sides there, and then just built my own wood bed floor. I still need to do the tailgate too, which I've got it. It's just I gotta buy new hinges, I gotta buy, you know, the whole latch deal, I gotta get the change, which is just more money, which it's coming, we'll get there. It's just with all the problems that I've been having, I wasn't expecting to have to deal with the header issue. I was always planning on getting rid of those shorty Fox body headers just because I know they were choking them. And when I had this engine in the Ranger, with where the steering shaft is on the Ranger, it's like way into the tube and you have to dent the crap out of the tube, which that was choking the engine, I'm sure. But I was always planning on replacing the headers. I just wasn't expecting to have to do it so quickly, because with the cracks and everything in the header, it just got to the point where this wasn't drivable at all. So I had to at least get one of them replaced so that I can get a good signal to the O2 sensor about what the air fuel ratio was. So yeah, that's where the truck's at right now. I know this hasn't been the most exciting video, but all I've been doing the last few weeks is just dealing with problem after problem after problem with this thing, trying to get it to run right. But I got a lot more planned. I got a lot more coming down the pipeline. It's just a matter of time and money. So if you want to see what I'm doing with this in the future, Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys later.